Coach Justin Meyer's Fan of the Year, Betsy Kitto. A wonderful wife, mother, sister, grandmother, aunt, sports fanatic, and friend to so many. Betsy Kitto had an outgoing, all-inclusive, friendly demeanor that made everyone around her feel welcome. Growing up, Betsy helped in her parents' grocery store, which eventually Betsy and her husband Mike took ownership of. She greeted anyone who walked through the door with a bright smile and a welcoming hello. Her beautiful smile lit up a room, and her positive attitude was contagious. She truly brought out the best in everyone. Betsy and Mike appreciated the simple things in life. They shared a deep love for one another and cherished their 3 wonderful children. They'd often turn the kids' sports travels into family vacations, and they never missed a game. Betsy was by far her 3 kids' biggest cheerleader. Her encouraging cheers could easily be heard from the court or the field whenever they played. And no matter the outcome of their games, Betsy was always supportive, with a beautiful smile on her face and endless words of encouragement. And if Betsy wasn't watching one of her 3 kids play, she was taking in a Packer, Badger, or Brewer game. To say she loved sports would be an understatement. And when you combined sports and family, she couldn't be happier. In August of 2004, when Betsy was just 46 years old, she was diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. She went through a double mastectomy and intense chemotherapy and radiation treatments, which put the cancer in remission. Like Betsy, who never missed a game, her loving and supportive husband Mike never missed a treatment. The love they felt for each other was evident throughout their lives, including when he became her personal chauffeur on their weekly trips to Madison for appointments. Following 5 years of remission, Betsy's cancer returned, and this time, chemo and radiation were not effective. She lived the remaining years of her life with cancer and treatments. On September 3rd, 2015, Betsy Kitto passed away. During her last 5 years, Betsy was most proud of being a grandma. Many times it was the warmth and presence of her grandson Cobus that comforted her during her treatments. She loved to spoil him and snuggle with him every chance she could. She adored the little boy who called her Grammy. Though their time together was limited, Betsy left a lasting impression on her loving grandson, one that will never be forgotten by him or her entire family. Throughout Betsy's 10-year battle with cancer, she never stopped smiling. She was always positive and always more concerned with others and how they were doing. She never complained about the pain she was in or her many struggles. Many never knew just how sick she was because of her contagious smile and her genuine warmth. To her friends and family, Betsy Kitto was the most inspirational person they ever met. She was Superwoman, and she will never be forgotten.
Coaches Greg and Jeff Gard's Fan of the Year, Glen Gard. If you ever met Glen, you never forgot his smile. It revealed his genuine character, warmth, honesty, and love. It radiated kindness, which was felt right from the first time you met him. Glen's smile was most evident in the presence of his 3 sons and their families. They were always a close-knit family, and that didn't change as their lives got busier. Glen and his wife Connie would often pull off basketball doubleheaders on Saturdays when both Jeff's Pioneers and Greg's Badgers would play. And he would plan yearly hunting trips with his son Gary and brother Rodney. As for his 7 grandkids, they made his smile even bigger. He adored them. He always seemed to know which one of them needed his help. He and his buddy Hunter taught them hunting and fishing secrets. And when one of the younger kids couldn't do what the bigger kids could, Glen would spend the day doing whatever they wanted to do. He just knew how to make them all feel really special. It was Glen's smile and big heart that even when cancer hit, made you see the hero within. Last May, just 3 days after the Coaches vs. Cancer Gala, doctors discovered multiple brain tumors deep inside Glen's head, near his brain's motor strip. Within a few days, he was diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma multiforme, an aggressive form of brain cancer. To those who didn't know Glen, they may never have noticed the signs of trouble. Just a month prior, Glen had driven to Indianapolis to watch the Badgers play in the Final Four. 2 weeks before that, he'd driven to Omaha for the opening weekend of the NCAA tournament. And yet, the shocking diagnosis gave Glen only 6 more months with his wife Connie and their family. Due to the inoperable location of the tumors, he underwent chemotherapy and radiation. The plan was to buy more time for Glen to be with his family. In September, Glen traveled to Cleveland to undergo a procedure that uses an MRI-guided laser to destroy brain tumors from the inside out. 90% of the visible tumors were destroyed. However, the cancer cells continued to grow back. Upon his return, blood clots began to form in his lungs, making it difficult to breathe. Glen Gard passed away, surrounded by friends and family, on October 30th, 2015. Those who knew Glen say his best quality was making a difference without bringing attention to himself. He spent nearly 4 decades as an agricultural loan officer and volunteered his time whenever he could. He was active with his church and coached baseball as part of the Cobb Little League when his sons were young. Glen served as president of the Iowa Grant Athletics Booster Club and assisted as a group leader for the Cobb Busy Badgers 4-H Club. In September, he was honored at the Iowa County Fair, where the swine area was renamed the Gard Swine Pavilion. Glen never did any of these things for the recognition. He just wanted to make a difference, and he did it because that's who he was. It came as naturally as his smile. His family refers to it as making an impact in a subtle way. Even when it came to his treatment, Glen knew things might not work out for him. But he wanted to undergo the procedure in Cleveland because even if it didn't buy him more time, it could provide the doctors with answers in hopes that the next person, 5, maybe 10 years from now, would benefit. Glen Gard is the definition of a hero. He was always the person who would do anything to make a difference in the lives of those around him. His smile, his selfless acts of kindness, that's how he left his mark on all of us.
You should be here, standing with your arm around me here, cutting up, cracking a cold beer, saying cheers. Hey y'all, it's sure been a good year. It's one of those moments that's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. You should be here. You should be here.